Yo, what up, street togs? So I just want to do a quick video with y'all, maybe just sharing on like why is photography so interesting, why is photography so fun. So these are just like some of my basic thoughts. So first and foremost, I think photography is super fun because photography allows us to, you know, kind of, I think like for me actually, photography is fun because it's kind of like a visual puzzle. Like I see something, there's something in it that I find interesting, whether it's the shapes, the forms, the textures, the curves, whatever. And actually what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to use my skill, my ingenuity, to frame it in a way that I find interesting and novel. Now also, maybe the joy of photography and also like street photography is kind of like decisive moment, right? It's like, it's kind of like the joy of the hunter or the joy of, you know, people who like music is like to do the rhythm. So like the joy of doing something like Beat Saber or whatever. So photography is interesting for that. Also, I think, maybe there's something about dynamic range, or there's something about contrast, or there's something about, you know, contrast or dynamic range between blacks and whites and different colors, which also brings us a lot of visual joy. So from a very pragmatic perspective, obviously there's nothing about photography which is beneficial to like survival for the most part, but I almost feel that like when you're making photos, essentially the joy is to take reality and to transform it into becoming something else. And so maybe there's this like world transfiguring or this world changing characteristic which makes it so much more fun to do. So that's what's fun for me. Also just like practical things too, so like I think street photography for me is fun because when I'm out and about and walking, talking to people and just doing stuff, it's just like, it's like more fun than just being stuck at home, because like truly the most interesting parts of photography require and necessitate you to be outdoors and in public, so in some sort of regard. And generally speaking, always being out with other people and doing stuff is generally much more interesting and fun than to just be by yourself at home and just being all lonely. So I think these are some reasons I find photography interesting, and also maybe there's something about arabesques, shapes, curves, which bring my eyes delight and kind of gives me birth to movement and motion. You know, some theories about color photography which might be nice is that like when you see the color green or red, it kind of reminds us of life, which improves our mood. So ultimately, I think the best photography is the photos which give you more power, they give you more energy to your legs, and give you the feeling that you want to live forever.